start over.
Well, his affair, he'd get off on something. Of course, the government's selling timber right and left, and he'd come off that. And the government. They'd tell about the timber jacks. Of course, everybody's buying timber jacks. They had real easy financing. They'd say, "You damn timber jacks will be sitting around the fence rows like these old cultivators."
Tell them about it.
Yeah, chainsaw finally jumped up.
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was a good timber cutter, and he was a very muscly guy. But anyhow, this damn saw got loose from it and actually cut him right here across the damn eye. Just bounced right back and bumped him right in the face.
Take his eye out?
No, I don't believe it. But anyhow, then you'd have to see him
It
and
was a wild looking thing,
him and Dirk James working around each other and riding each other and carrying on. And Dirk would come off with that, "God damn, it got me on my blind side."
We drove past them eating lunch out the sawmill at Job's one
They weren't relatives. They were both Jameses. You know, just two different families. So they just goddamn, they were riding me around.
Yeah, and he held that eye. That eye was held real funny from the way they stitched it up. We delivered some logs out to Blooms one time, and I was riding with Phil. And we come back out there with an empty log truck, and a whole bunch of them are sitting there in a row on the ground eating their dinner. Just this warm spring day, they're sitting out there eating their lunch. And Dewar looks up, and he's full of shit anyhow. And anyhow, the James guy sitting right by him. So Dewar looks up and he squints that one eye, you know, like Jules always was. And he said, "Yeah, damn, it got me on my blind side." And he's sitting right beside him. It was the funniest thing. They were a wild ass bunch. Him and, oh Lord, Neil Matheny, Doug Harlan, which is relation to Ponch. Junior Harrison. They all had.
Now the Harrison, that was the crazy.
Junior Harrison, yeah, he was a pretty normal guy, pretty straight. And anyhow,
but Joe was his brother, and Joe was crazy as he could be. God dang, it was wild.
I was out there putting in roads on a log job. It was wet. It was this aggravating son of a bitch. It was on the slope where the damn seeps come down the hill. They wanted a damn contour road around this thing, and I was out there doing the dozing that day. And then that evening, of course, leave Lowboy there because I wasn't done. And Joanne come out to pick me up. Here comes Joe Harrison off the hill with a damn 440 John Deere. Of course, it's got mud slopped all over that thing. It's a sloppy ass mess.
Sloppy.
And anyhow, he's blowing the horn when he comes off the hill into the yard.
Okay, go ahead.
Of course, this came from Uncle Socks and different people that was around him and Uncle Hugh.
Yeah.
For a lot of years, you know, they'd been around him. But anyway, they just repeat these tales. And of course, one of them was they had these real good mules, and they would just dig and they could really drag a lot of logs. But anyhow, they done what you told them. You just had to talk to them, that was it. And they went in to eat dinner. Whoever was skidding or dragging with the mules went in to eat dinner. And anyhow, when they come back to the woods, the mules was just damn near totally buried. He had forgot to say stop. He just kept digging till they just damn near totally buried. The log had hooked on a stump or something. And they were just digging and digging. And now nobody said, whoa, you know. So they dug themselves in. They were big coon hunters, supposedly, or whatever hunters, fox chasers, coon hunters. Everybody had a good hound dog or two. But anyhow, they end up treeing a groundhog 3 days before Christmas to treat him in the ground. Or, I mean, treat him
Okay,
in the
thank
hole.
you. Okay, bye.
Go ahead.
Said they dug him out, and he had fresh roasted ears there. They'd had them in the ground all that time. They said they were going to have roasted ears for Christmas. 3 days before Christmas. They were still good. That was one of them. And then he was squirrel hunting tales. And he'd got 5 squirrels, 5 shots with the old rifle. And he said then he just got bored and he just went to shooting the nut out of their mouth. It made them look so silly. Just thought it all. Yeah. bullshitter. But he'd tell him deals. Now, Cletus is straight and as good as he was at everything he'd done. You wouldn't believe it. He wasn't close. But anyhow, they had to set up in the woods. And of course, back then, they would set up a damned old shanty of some kind out of thick and thin lumber or whatever, you know. So the heads up to get out of the rain. You had to get it out of the rain, you know, occasionally. And anyhow, they're sitting there. Arnie told me, they'll tell all these tales. So I'll tell you a bunch of tales the way they were repeated to me.
Yeah, that's good.
I knowed Arnie before he passed away. He come to the store a lot. But nevertheless, one of them was that whenever they got rained out, they would all sit around the table there and play poker in their shanty, and everybody win $20 or $30, so they made money either way.
And when we have a real bad day in the woods or something, sometimes that's what Phil tells me. He said, we've had one of them Arnie days. We all made money today, meaning everybody lost.
But anyhow, that was the son also of Edgar, the one that got out there and held a gun to Joanne when she come down the road to leave the log truck.
Yeah, somebody tell that one. That's a good one. I want to get that one on here.
Joanne.
Somebody tell it good.
Okay, Chip and Mel were
Make sure you speak good.
Chip and Mel were a college couple.
Okay.
And they were in with the Latter-day Saints Church, and of course the campground's just across on the other side of the holler from where we live. So anyhow, of a summer, they get somebody like that to stay there in a trailer, and they keep the grounds up, mow the grounds, take care of them. Of course, they had a lot of spare time, and they were dandy people. And they were about the same age we were. We were just starting out, first married, you know, up on the farm. So anyhow, old Chip decides that he wants to buy a Hawkins rifle. He has watched, who was the guy out? Remember him?
Yeah.
Robert Redford played the part. Anyhow, went out west. He wanted to be a mountain man. So anyhow, he had a Hawkins rifle. He found this old guy that was froze to death. And the old guy had a Hawkins rifle, and he had a little note on him that said, whoever found him, he was killed by a bear, and whoever found him, take care of his rifle. It was a good rifle. So,
Same bear that he killed him.
Yeah, killed him. He said, the same bear that killed me, I killed. He had K-I-L-T, I figured, on the note. Well, anyhow, Chip fell in love with the concept of having a Hawkins rifle. Of course, it's just college kids, no money. So he decides he's going to work around a little bit with us and do a few things to make a little extra money, and he's going to wind up with him a gun. So we're in a log yard one day, and I'm getting ready to haul a load of logs, and he wants to go to the mill and see the mill. So he climbs the straight truck, you know, old Dodge straight truck. So he climbs in the straight truck with me. We go deliver our logs. We're working on Donald Whitehead, another neighbor. And when we come back in, Edgar Harrison was all them Harrison boys' dad. And he was a short, stocky guy, rough as hell, and just as good as they come. Me and him used to ride each other when I run the store all the time, so we were big buddies at cutting up, see. So we come driving down the road. Of course, these stakes set in the pockets, they were removable stakes on this log truck so we could haul cross ties on it and stuff. Well, anyhow, they rattled on these gravel roads. You could hear this thing coming way off and know exactly what it was. So Edgar was standing by the road, and when I got close to him, of course, you know, we're going around curves and everything. We're not going very fast. It's right in front of our house. He steps out in the middle of the road. In his house. He steps out in the middle of the road and pulls this pistol, and he's got both hands on this pistol, and he's aiming right at the truck. And Chip had the funniest look on his face. So I stopped the truck.
Never met Edgar Harrison in
No,
his
he
life.
never had no idea what was fixing to happen.
Yeah, he didn't know the guy.
So I stuck my head out the window and hollered and said, "Get out of the road, you old son of a bitch, before I run over you." Chip was white as a ghost.
Scared him?
Oh my God, he was terrified. That was Edgar at his finest, okay? I bet he relived that moment 100 times before they buried him. He was a super.
Everybody, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me likes and comments and favorite and whatnot and everything else. It helps the channel grow. Thank you all a bunch, and everybody have a good day.